Jason Inga.
That was Jonathan McReynolds with For Myself featuring Chandler Moore. Back to the Fastlane. And at this time, we are delighted, we're excited to have with us a special guest, the CEO of Plentify, John Cornick. Plentify is a company at the forefront of sustainable energy solutions, has recently launched their new product called HotBot in Southern Africa. HotBot aims to help residents save money and reduce load shedding by providing a smart water heating system that optimizes energy consumption. With the ongoing energy crisis in the country, HotBot is such a game changer for those looking to reduce their electricity bills and decrease their carbon footprint. We're excited to hear from John Cornick himself about the innovative technology. And we welcome John to the Fastlane. A very good afternoon to you.
It's an absolute pleasure to be here. Thank you.
We are delighted to have you with us. And also on the line, we have Zizi Zanele.
Oh, yes. Good afternoon, John, and welcome to the Fastlane. I hope those air horns made you feel comfortable.
Yeah, I wasn't expecting them, but feeling very good now.
That's always a good icebreaker. John, at the gate, I know you are somewhere out there, like Aladdin would say. Where are you currently finding yourself?
Ordinarily, I'm based in Cape Town, but right now I'm in Copenhagen. We're actually here for the Global Startup Awards. We are one of the African winners in this global competition, and we're here to claim a prize and bring it back home.
Congratulations on that nomination. And all the best. Hopefully bring it home for us. So we're trusting with you. So can you tell us a little bit more about Plentify and your mission to enable affordable, reliable, and clean energy services for everyone in Southern Africa?
Yeah, of course. So Plentify is a Cape Town-based smart energy company, and as you say, we exist to enable affordable, reliable, and clean energy, which are not three adjectives that you would use to describe electricity in South Africa at the moment. But hopefully we can change that. The way that we do this is with smart devices that plug onto the appliances in your home and help those appliances to operate way more efficiently, to save you money off your electricity bill, but also to do a whole bunch of smart stuff to change when they use the electricity to help the electricity system more broadly.
Oh, wow. Exciting. And also maybe tell us what inspired the development of HotBot and how does it differ from the traditional geyser timers?
Yeah, that's a fantastic question. So HotBot actually originates, I mean, we've been working on this for more than 6 years already. We started the company back in January of 2017. And back then we started it with the belief that there was a major gap in the market, that there was a lot of really promising activity in the clean energy space, but most of that activity was on big projects, getting large wind and solar farms onto the grid, or getting people access to electricity for the first time. But very little was and still is being done for the majority of Africa's population, which is already connected to a grid system, but is suffering the world's most expensive and unreliable power. The people in our company all come from technology, finance, energy backgrounds, and we'd seen the technologies we developed at Google, at Microsoft, at Tesla, elsewhere, and how these could be applied to this new segment to make a tremendous difference. And so over the years, we've been developing products, and we've landed on HotBot, which we've had out in the market for a couple of years now, but only more recently have started to offer this directly to consumers as opposed to through larger B2B partners. And HotBot it's not a geyser timer. It's an intelligent thermostat, and it differs from your typical geyser timers in a number of fundamental ways. The first is it does intelligent control. So with a typical timer, say that you want hot water at 7 a.m. tomorrow. You're going to have to set your timer to be on, say, from 5 till 7 in the morning. And exactly when you turn it on is a bit complicated because, how long does your geyser take to heat up? How hot do you want it to get? It's a non-trivial question to answer. With HotBot, you just say, I want hot water at 7 a.m. and the machine figures out the most efficient way to deliver you hot water at that time. And that also means it takes into account things like load shedding. In that example with your timer, if load shedding happened to be happening from 5 till 7 in the morning, the same time that you scheduled your timer, you would have a cold shower. with HotBot, it's load shedding aware, so it will monitor your load shedding schedules. And if you are predicted to want hot water during or soon after load shedding, it'll automatically preheat it in advance of load shedding. You can also track your savings in real time in rands. You get monthly reports showing you how your hot water consumption compares to similarly sized households, gives you personalized tips to save more. It detects the leaks and sends you SMSs if your geyser springs a leak before that floods your home. And a whole bunch more features that really make it quite different to other products in the market. And that's just from the end user perspective. The real magic, though, is what it does for the electricity system, because the issue is that geysers are terrible. Basically, they're destroying us. These appliances, that's the biggest load appliance in your home. 40 to 60% of your electricity bill goes to heating your water. And I mean, an interesting stat is Eskom spends on average between 2,000 and 3,000 rand in diesel per year to heat your geyser, because you're heating it at exactly the wrong times, in the peak times in the mornings and evenings. And so what HotBot does is it understands when you want hot water. It understands the characteristics of your geyser to try to figure out the most efficient way to heat for you. And then it shifts timing of all the different geysers. So it coordinates that my geyser turns on at a slightly different time to your geyser, shifting demand away from those constrained peak times towards times where, for example, solar is available, thereby helping to fight load shedding and enable a clean energy transition.
Wow, that is so intuitive. I mean, I can't even imagine to think the amount of work that went into creating such such an intuitive application. Do you have one that's also able to make me coffee at the times that I need?
Yeah, that's a great question. It's an application we haven't thought of, but in theory, yes. I mean, you could, I mean, boiling a kettle is not terribly different to boiling a geyser. So maybe we can do some custom there for you.
No, definitely. We'll work out the percentages there, and then also, you mentioned how much it takes to actually boil not boil, but to start up your gears and stuff. And with the electricity prices having increased over the amount of in the short period as well, how much money can homeowners expect to save on their bills?
Yeah, it's a great question. So you can expect to save up to 30% of your water heating costs, which is meaningless to most people. So let's put that into rands and cents. Last month, on average, our users saved 260 rand during the course of February. And this is something we can say with accuracy because every user through their app can track their savings in real time.
For that analytics.
Yeah, exactly. But the price increases are making this an even more compelling proposition. So, 1st of April, Eskom increases go into effect. 1st of July, that trickles down to municipalities. And at that point, that 260 rand per month saving is immediately going to jump up way above 300 rand, just thanks to an 18.65% increase from Eskom.
Wow.
Oh,
Zizi?
wow. No, really. We really need the
Numbers
HotBot.
need stolen.
That's all I can say.
Stolen.
But I also want to know not that question. How does the HotBot help to protect homes from leaks and to protect geyser bursts? And how does it detect these issues?
Yeah, it's a great question. So we detect leaks in a couple of ways. The first way is we have a physical wetness sensor that sits in the drip tray of your geyser. And so if your geyser starts leaking, little moisture droplets will land on the sensor. It'll trigger an alert, which will then send you an SMS. And if you've installed an optional shut-off valve, it'll also close off the water supply to your geyser, preventing that leak from emitting any more water. However, we've actually found that the valve isn't even that necessary. Just getting that early alert that there is a leak is sufficient, and you can call your plumber to come out the next day or the day after, and typically you won't see any major problems. Without this, it goes undetected for weeks or months, and you can lose a lot of water, but also lose a hell of a lot of energy in terms of all that wasted electricity to heat water that is just then leaking out of your geyser. So that's one way. We've also got more fancy ways of detecting leaks, like trying to see if the energy balance in your geyser changes and it's somehow losing energy somewhere, but primarily it's a physical sensor that we use.
And how much I think everybody is thinking about price range. I know you mentioned that there's this massive amount of money, like 30%, and it's equivalent to, like, in the next few months, we're looking at saving over 300 Rand per month. What would such an installation cost?
Yeah, so we've tried to make this as accessible for people as possible. So we offered on a subscription basis. It costs 200 Rand upfront as an activation fee, and then an ongoing subscription of 99 Rand per month.
Oh, wow.
What's important to note is that we provide a turnkey service. This includes installation, device, service, everything. And you have an ongoing warranty for as long as you continue to subscribe for the service, compared to the 6 to 12-month warranties that you'll get from a typical geyser timer.
Oh, wow.
Sure.
That's amazing. I think after that, the golden question is, how do I get a HotBot?
Yes, how do I get, not a hot bod, but the hot bot.
A HotBot, yes. A
I can,
HotBot.
yeah, I can definitely help with the HotBot. So that one, you head to
Man.
plentify.io/individuals, and you can pick one off of our website there. That's Plentify, spelled PLENTIFY.io/individuals.
John, also, how does Plentify envision the role of technology in the future of energy consumption and sustainability in South Africa?
Yeah, I mean, it's critical. So, the energy system is undergoing a major transition, not just in South Africa, but globally. And the biggest change happening in the energy system right now is this move from big centralized coal-fired power stations to more distributed clean energy systems like solar panels on your roof. And this introduces a whole bunch of challenges. Very importantly is the intermittency of renewables. So in the olden days, with your big centralized coal plants and your big centralized open cycle gas turbines, you just turn supply on and off throughout the day to make sure that you have just enough electricity supplied to match whatever your demand is. You can't do that anymore with solar, because you can't turn the sun on and off. You've now got a situation where supply is intermittent and not dispatchable, not changeable. And so you have to find some way to change demand to match that supply. And I think this is going to be one of the key areas where we're going to see a proliferation of technology in the energy space, is trying to make demand dispatchable, make demand flexible enough that you can turn it on and off to match whatever clean energy supply happens to be available right then. And the great news is you can do that, for 5 to 10 times cheaper with controlling your appliances than you can with, for example, a battery.
Oh, wow. Thank you so much, John. And finally, what message would you like to convey to the residents of Cape Town and surrounding areas who are interested in learning more about HotBot and Plentify's mission?
Yeah, I mean, I think the best place to learn about Plentify and HotBots and our mission is our website at plentify.io. But more generally, I'd encourage people to think about the solution we want for energy in our country. There's often, we talk about generation, we talk about storage, but I think this idea of demand flexibility, about the actions you can take in your home to change how you use electricity, can make a fundamental impact on the energy system. And not just our company, but others out there are trying to build the tools to make this easier for people to do, to save the money, but also to save the grid.
John, to me, HotBot is such it's a no-brainer. Thank you to you and your team for coming up with something so intuitive, something that is definitely going to revolutionize, the way we think about electricity in South Africa. And all the best with the nominations there. Hopefully, you bring one home for us.
Cool. Thanks very much. And it's been an absolute pleasure being on your show. Thanks for having me.
Thank you so much, John. Looking forward to the coffee maker.
Yeah, we'll be in touch. We'll work on that.
Thank you.
Your royalties will be coming.
Thanks a lot.
Radio
Bye.
CCFM, in partnership with the Well Dream Center, presents a morning